Every year, thousands of Europeans cross the Atlantic expecting to observe America. Its food, its weather, its people, the way you'd watch something through glass. It starts almost always small. A taste, a texture. A woman is crying at an airport customs desk, not because she's hiding cash, and not because she's hiding anything illegal. Technically, a uniformed officer is holding her suitcase hostage, and inside it there's nothing but bottles of ranch dressing and a bag of Cheetos.
Hello.
Hello, welcome home.
Thank you.
This is you?
Yes, that's me. I was in America for 6 weeks.
You certainly embraced the culture. What were you doing there?
The World Cup. I didn't realize soccer in the US would be so much fun. They really know how to do it.
What did you say?
That I didn't realize how much fun soccer in the US would be.
Soccer?
Yes, soccer.
This is worse than I thought. Miss, I'm going to have to look inside your bag.
My bag? Why?
Show me.
Do I really have to?
Fräulein, show me your bag.
I packed it completely full. It's a lot of work to open it.
Miss, I'm going to have to look inside your bag. Did you bring something with you?
Not the ranch sauce, please. We don't have the sauce at home, and it's really good. And I don't. Please, just
Rehab now! We've got another one. She's got the ranch.
please, my mother would love this sauce. It's much better than sour cream, bitte.
Miss, I'm going to have to send you to Rehabilitation Center, European Rehabilitation Center now. Jetzt sofort!
Somewhere else, in a quiet British living room, a man sits down, looks into his camera, and says something far less funny. He says that coming home, to his own house, his own country, the place he was born, felt strange.
I'm just going to put it out there. Once you have been traveling around America for a substantial amount of time, when you come home, it is a very strange and slightly, truthfully, depressing feeling, okay? Traveling around America really opened up my eyes, really allowed me to see how I could be living and just how many opportunities there are and how many different amazing places there are, all in one country. Like, since I've been back home in the UK, I haven't felt like myself, which sounds so crazy. I now live for that adventure, that crazy lifestyle, that meeting new people, seeing new people every day, and I just long for it. And in America, it is so amazing. Seriously, Americans, what have you done to me? I need to come back. October, end of October, back in America. I can't wait. It's really kerfuffled me, man. Coming home from America, it has kerfuffled me.
These two people have never met. One is performing a sketch about smuggled salad dressing, the other is confessing something real to a camera in his living room. But they are describing the exact same wound. It's called reverse culture shock. And it doesn't happen when you land in America. It happens when you leave it. This is what they actually experienced, and what it cost them to come back. And for another traveller, the wound went even deeper, because someone finally tried to fix it and failed. Word reached the UK that Heinz had started importing a bottled ranch sauce to British supermarkets. He was thrilled, squeezing it onto his plate, expecting a piece of America to have followed him home. Instead, he got something thin, watery, faintly yellow, a copy of a memory.
America, you are finally taking over the UK, and let me explain why. This right here. I think Britain is finally seeing the light, as this is the very first bottle of ranch that I've seen imported here into the UK. But the question is, will it live up to the real deal that I've been missing ever since landing back into the UK? Right, okay, let's give this thing a try. Oh, looks very watery. I thought it was meant to be creamy. Right, first impressions, not great. I thought ranch was meant to be white. This has got like a tinge of yellow to it. Taste test, here we go. It's okay, but it doesn't quite hit the spot as real ranch. This isn't it. And you know what? I think we're slacking. In Britain, we can do better than this watery mess over here. We can do better, and we need to do better, okay? Let's get some of that good stuff imported. You know, the ranch that you get in all of the restaurants, the proper stuff. Because this just isn't scratching that itch.
A young German man sits across from his wife in an American fast food booth, watching her dip a French fry into a milkshake like it's the most normal thing in the world. To him, it isn't normal. It's borderline offensive. Sweet and savory don't mix where he's from.
You're German in America, you're gonna lose your shit because your wife puts a French fry into the milkshakes. This is America right here. You know, once you don't have a food culture as a country, this becomes your main food. You have to have an abomination where you come. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Nothing recalibrates a European's brain faster than an American receipt. She lays out the scenario simply. A $300 dinner bill. In Europe, you might round it up a few euros as a courtesy. In America, that same instinct would be read as an insult. The unspoken rule is at least 20%. On top of the bill, every time. And not just at restaurants. Hairdressers, nail techs, delivery drivers, mechanics, people whose jobs have nothing to do with hospitality and who are still owed a tip by custom.
Let's talk about things that are normal in the US and totally confusing to European. So imagine this, you go to the restaurant, you get a bill and it's 300. As a European, you might think, oh wow, that's already a lot. They're already making so much money off of us. We're not going to tip. Or maybe you're very generous and you make it 310. Or you know when your bill is 1960 and you pull out a $20 bill and go, that's okay. In America, however, this would not slide. Because you're expected to pay at least 20% tip on top of whatever you're already paying. And you're not tipping just in a restaurant. You tip your hairdresser, nail tech, delivery driver, auto mechanics, technically anyone that provides service for you. But the food service is where it really gets wild. You might ask, what happens if I don't tip? Well, two things might happen. There's a real chance someone's going to come up to you and ask, what was wrong? Why didn't you tip me? And secondly, they're actually not going to get paid because server salaries in the US are lower than the base salary. So for example, if the base salary is $10 an hour, you're going to get like $3 because they're expected to make up the rest through tips. And the tips are still taxed. So yeah, technically it's not the employers paying their employees, it's the customers paying the employees. What do you think is a proper tip?
Standing in the snow in Michigan, a British traveller looks directly into his camera, genuinely speechless. He has just learned that marijuana is legal here, not decriminalised, not tolerated, legal, sold openly in stores called dispensaries. Back home, he explains, getting caught with it could mean 5 years in prison. Here, you walk in, you pay, you walk out. No fear.
I am speechless. I have just found out in America and in Michigan, where I am now, that the devil's lettuce, you know, the ganja, is legal. They have these things in America called dispensaries, whatever that is, and you don't go to jail. In the UK, if you are found with that, you will be getting 5 years in prison. In America, you can just walk into a store and buy it. What?
If a moment like that has ever caught you off guard, realizing something you believed your whole life was just a local rule, not a universal one, that's exactly the kind of shift this channel exists to explore. Hit subscribe before we keep going, because the next 4 shocks are where this story stops being funny and starts being personal. Some shocks arrive quietly, others you can see from half a mile away. A British couple walks the trail toward General Sherman, the largest living tree on Earth, hyping each other up along the way. Then the camera turns and the joking stops. "Look behind me," she says. "Oh my God, I can't get over this."
We are about to go see the biggest tree in the world. How excited are you? I literally can't wait. Let's go. Look behind me. Oh my God. I can't get over this. Look at James. James is right there. You can see him. Look at the size of it compared to James. James is going to be disappointed. He's not the biggest thing in the room right now.
That same sense of scale follows another British traveller down the road, except this time it's played for laughs. He counts off the things that shocked him most, starting with gas stations that aren't really gas stations at all, but what he calls a town with a roof on it, selling rotisserie chicken and lottery tickets and Subway sandwiches under one giant sign.
These are the 3 things that shocked me the most in America. You will not believe number 1, but you can't deny it, America. Coming in, number 3, it's your gas stations. So apparently a gas station in America isn't just for petrol. No. It's a town with a roof on it. You can fill up your car, buy a rotisserie chicken, gamble your mortgage, buy a Subway sandwich, and you've not even stepped outside. I walked in for gum and walked out with existential questions and a brisket sandwich. Those American gas stations are built different, which means coming in at number 2, it's the weather. It's emotionally unstable. 1 minute it's sunny, I'm in shorts, got sunglasses, I'm living my best life. 15 seconds later, torrential rain, sideways wind, and I'm questioning my life choices. Why does the sky in America act like it's just going through a breakup? Yeah, listen, if you haven't got trust issues, American weather will give you them. And the worst thing is the locals will just say, that's just a regular Tuesday, which means coming in at number 1, you're not going to expect this. I asked somebody what they drank as a teenager. You know what they said? 4 Loko. 4 bloody Loko. So Americans are out there at just 16 drinking straight up 14% battery acid with the energy of an entire marching band. In the UK, we drank cider, maybe cried a little bit. Americans are out there drinking liquid chaos and going to Walmart after. And if that's not bad enough, do not get me started on MD 2020. I don't know how half you Americans survived your upbringing, but I respect it.
This is where something starts to shift, where these travellers stop just observing America and start being changed by it. A man in a Santa Barbara park says it plainly. Forget the food, forget the roads. The real shock is what he calls a psychological superpower. In 20 minutes, 3 complete strangers acknowledge him. A smile, a compliment, a passing comment. For no reason at all.
The biggest culture shock in America isn't the food or the massive roads. It's the fact that total strangers here possesses a psychological superpower that most of the world completely lacks. I'm in Santa Barbara right now. In less than 20 minutes, 3 different people acknowledge my existence with a genuine compliment or a quick chat. To an American, that's just normal Tuesday. To a European, it feels like a literary glitch in the Matrix. Back home, if you look a stranger in the eye and smile, people assume you want their money or you're legally insane. Here, you guys have mastered the art of instant human validation. You can make a completely stranger feel seen, safe and welcome in less than 3 seconds. Completely for free. It's not just being polite, it's a masterclass in emotional intelligence that the rest of the world desperately needs to study. To my non-Americans, what's the craziest experience you've had with American friendliness?
A Scottish man, back in his own Gulf town after years living in the US, describes a group of American tourists stopping to chat with him in his own garden, despite his dog barking at them the entire time. Anywhere else, that dog would have ended the interaction before it began. Instead, they just laughed and kept talking. You Americans will say hi to anybody, he says, smiling in a way that looks a little like grief. It was just fantastic. He isn't describing a tourist encounter. He's describing something he lost when he came home.
As a Scotsman that used to live in the States and only very recently moved back to Scotland, there's very few things that can put a smile on my face quite like bumping in to a bunch of American folks. I was just outside in the garden with the dog. She was barking and screaming at a bunch of folks and they said hi and they were American, which is actually quite common because the town I live in is a famous golf town. But yeah, they stopped, they said hi, and I just miss that so much because you Americans will say hi to anybody, you'll stand, you'll have a conversation, and it was just fantastic. It put a massive smile on my face. So thank you to you guys. If you do end up watching this, you'll know who you are because my dog was going nuts at you. And it's just put such a smile on my face. I miss you guys. I miss Americans so much. The chats that we can have. It's just, I love it. And I miss that accent so much. There you go. There's this afternoon's update.
The deeper shock isn't what Americans say to strangers. It's what they don't say. A British food influencer, fresh off a trip built around the World Cup, lays out the difference bluntly. In the UK, people react with open disdain when they see him filming in public. In America, strangers pull up a chair out of genuine curiosity. In the UK, he says, success tends to breed resentment. A quiet culture that keeps people in their place.
3 things that I learned about American people as a food influencer who just got back from the World Cup. They're friendly, almost to a fault. I'd be sat at the table with my camera and a stranger would just perch next to me with a genuine curiosity about what I was doing. Now, in the UK, people react with total disdain when they see me talking to a camera. Secondly, they are insanely proud of their country and where they're from. I'd leave restaurants with huge lists from locals about where to eat next. They want the world to see what America has to offer without the media agenda. And the third but nicest thing is just how happy they are to see other people succeed. There's no resentment or jealousy that you get in the UK. They really push each other up rather than pulling each other down.
Another British traveller felt that same shift somewhere more personal, meeting a stranger's friend in New York. Too embarrassed to admit what he actually does for a living, he mumbles that he's unemployed.
One thing that shocked me about America as a Brit who's just moved here, and no, it's not the food, it's not the portion sizes, and it's definitely not the yellow school buses. It's you guys. Let me explain. So this isn't me shitting on the UK, because I love our people, I love our wit, I love our sarcasm, I just love us overall. However, Americans are just that much more supportive than what we are. Let me give you an example. So the other day we was in New York City with some of our American friends, and they brought one of their friends out, and she asked me, what do I do? I said, oh, I'm currently unemployed, I'm looking for a job. And without hesitation, my friend turned around and said, no, tell them about your content. There's me. I went into my shell because I was like, what? And she told her all about it. And the friend was my biggest cheerleader. You know, one question she didn't ask me? How many followers do I have? Because she wasn't looking to judge me. She was looking to support me. And that's just really stuck with me because people genuinely want you to succeed here. You could say you want to be an astronaut and everyone would go, all right, how do we get you there? In the UK, if you do anything outside the normal 9 to 5, you do get judgment. Not from everyone, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people are like, why are they doing that? Obviously, that's just my experience, but so far, Americans have been so much more supportive than what I've seen in the UK. And if you are American, drop me a follow to support your British cousin. Love you, America. Bye.
A British woman stands in an American kitchen listing the small things that quietly rewired her life. Liquid coffee creamer, a garbage disposal that makes food waste simply vanish, a ceiling fan that cools an entire room, a washing machine the size of a small car. Why is everything in England so miniature? She asks, only half joking. She isn't talking about square footage. She's talking about a version of daily life she can't unsee.
3 things that changed my life living in America that we don't have in England. The first one is creamer, coffee creamer. We don't have. I love it. I use it every day. Makes my life so much better. The second one is the garbage disposals. We literally don't have that. You can just throw things in the sink and I don't even know where it goes. Where does it go?
I think the ocean.
The ocean. It literally just disappears and it makes your life so much more convenient. The third one is, can you guess?
Washer.
Dryer. Oh, actually that's another one. The tumble dryer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say the ceiling fans we do not have and they're pretty cool. They just like blow the air around the room and circulate and like make it colder. But if I added a fourth one, yeah, it'd be the tumble dryers. Life-changing. The washers are so much bigger than we have in England.
No wrinkles.
Why is everything in England so miniature? I don't know. But that really changes my life. Never had a dryer until now.
Walking along a grey London street, another woman films the sky and doesn't even try to hide her disappointment. Look how grey it is, she says, almost to herself. She counts off what she misses. The sun, the slower pace, the warmth of the people she met in Texas, even the sound of a southern accent over her own.
3 things I miss about America. Number 1, the weather. Look at this weather. At least it's not raining, I guess. Look how grey it is. Number 2, the people. Everyone's not as nice as they are in Texas. And not only are they not as nice, really miss the accent. Don't like hearing the British accent. I want to hear the Southern American accent. And everyone's so rude. Everyone's rushing to get everywhere. I feel like in America it's more slow and chill. Number 3, the cars. Why can I not see big trucks? There's just taxis and normal cars. It's boring.
And here's the part that might be the most unsettling of all. This isn't only happening to Europeans. An American woman, having lived abroad herself, asks her own audience a question that stops a lot of people cold. Does anyone else feel like a stranger in the country they were born in? She explains that once you've heard how the rest of the world actually sees your home country, once you've lived inside a different system entirely, you can't simply unlearn it. Nobody tells you, she says, that coming home is harder than leaving. She isn't describing a European problem. She's describing a human one.
Curious if any other Americans who have moved abroad feel this way. Every single time that I come back, I feel such reverse culture shocks, and it's so weird because like this is where I was born and raised, but I really struggle to resonate with American culture and like kind of feel at home or just feel connected. And I think it's just because in living abroad, like you hear so many different perspectives, you see so much talk on the outside world of the US, and you also get to know other cultures and different ways of life and different government, and especially with everything going on in the US right now too, it just has really changed my perspective and outlook. And I find it very difficult when I am back in the US to kind of fit in a sense. And it's weird because, like I said, this is where I was born, this is where my family is, this is where I've grown up and everything. But it's a weird feeling to know like the place that is home, quote unquote, doesn't fully feel like home anymore, or just you feel like you don't belong there. Like, it's a really, really odd feeling, and I don't know how to fully describe this. But every time I come back to the US, like, I just feel a weird disconnect, and it's tricky to navigate. And I don't really know if anyone else feels this way that has lived abroad and kind of has come back to the US at some point.
Another American living in Tunisia says almost the exact same thing from the opposite direction, describing giant soda cups, deafening pickup trucks, and an entire supermarket aisle devoted to cereal as things that now feel genuinely foreign to her in her own country. Her baseline shifted the moment she left. It never fully shifted back. Underneath everything else might be the simplest lesson of the bunch. One woman describing what people online call a Euro summer makes a point that cuts through the whole documentary. People don't need to spend thousands of dollars flying to Europe to feel something Europe seems to offer for free. They need to slow down. A 5-hour dinner where nobody rushes you. A store that closes for a few hours so people can rest. Morning coffee made at home instead of grabbed on the run. You just need to chill out wherever you are, she says. It isn't really about which country you're standing in, it's about how you're allowed to live in it. One final image says more than any of the culture shock stories combined. An older man reflecting on the World Cup describes something simple. Fans from completely different countries, painted in completely different colours, screaming for completely different teams. And then, the moment the final whistle blows, shaking hands and sharing a drink like none of it mattered. You can love your country, he says, without hating another one. That's the real takeaway, maybe, buried in every one of these stories. That's the real cost of reverse culture shock. It isn't losing a place. It's realizing a place lives inside you now, whether you're standing in it or not. If even one of these hit close to home, if you've ever come back from somewhere and felt like a stranger in your own country, tell us which shock got you the most in the comments. And if you want the next story like this one, make sure you're subscribed, because this is far from the last time we're crossing that border.